Hello and welcome back to my favorite thing ever. This is a random vibe check, a random reminder from the divine, a reminder from your highest self, a reminder from the universe, from the quantum field, from the greater oneness, whatever you want to call it. This is a divine reminder. And this time we have 4 objects for you to pick from. So we're going to separate into 4 different groups. Group 1 is a popsicle. Group 2 is a butterfly. Group 3 is a swimsuit. And group 4 is an orange. And while you contemplate on what group you would like to pick, it could be random. You could ask Google. You could just feel the vibe of the object. You could honestly watch all 3. But of course, we all don't have all the time in the world. So feel free to choose the object that is calling out to you. And I know the theme of this video is a little orange, so I usually play ads in my videos now, but this is a random divine message, so I'm not going to put any ads myself in this video, but while we're here picking an object, I would really love to encourage you to check out the links below. One of my new favorite clients is Cumulus Fitness, and they've created this awesome jump box, which is inflatable, deflatable. You can take it anywhere, and it supports up to 440 pounds. Anyways, this little orange box just fits the orange theme of today. So if you have time, check out that link below. And of course, please join my membership on this channel. You will get exclusive videos, exclusive posts, exclusive polls, and a lot of stuff in that membership. So please check out the membership as well. Your support means everything to me. And I am assuming by now you have chosen a group. So let's jump into group number 1. You have felt the orange popsicle. How delicious does that actually sound right now for like the middle of summer? And I am in Texas, and I actually really love orange. Probably my favorite flavor. Anyways, let's get to the point of why we are here. If this is your first time here, and if it's not, you know this, that we use 3 amazing, powerful tools here. And the first tool is a random card pick from one of the most beautiful card decks I've ever seen in my life. They have high divine messages on it, higher power messages on it, messages from the universe, messages that help you with your journey of attracting every single thing you want in your life. So this is tool 1 out of 3. And I'm going to close my eyes and just pick a card from here, which basically dictates our whole session together. And you can find this card deck and buy it for yourself from the last link in the description. But yes, I'm feeling this one for us, you guys. I have no idea what it says, but I did paint little animals on the back that have nothing to do with the card, but they're fun. And our little animal for today is a camel. Wow, we were just talking about like the heat and stuff. Like camels are very interesting creatures of how they live in the desert and stuff. But anyways, before we read the card, I love it when the card like matches my clothes. I will let you read it before I even read it. I have no idea, group 1, what our session is going to be about today. And feel free to pause and read. What does it say? Look, it's backward. It's backwards on my camera, so I still have no idea. Let's get into this. Hardship. Well, group one, today's theme is hardship. And I don't even have to start with myself here. This is not about myself. This is a message for the collective. I take in all these messages, but please check out my other videos and the whole reason I started this channel. Whatever. Let's see what it has to say about hardship. And it's such a beautiful card. I love these cards, you guys. It's like rain clouds and like flowers growing and like I didn't even read the card yet. I'm just like in my head right now. The song by Kendrick Lamar and SZA is in my head. In this world, concrete flowers grow. Heartache, she only doing what she know. Let's read the card, you guys. Here we go. May I embrace what's happening right now, as baffling or painful as it is. Help me, God, to trust where you are guiding me. I am yours. That line right there. May I embrace what's happening right now, as baffling or painful as it is. I was literally thinking this afternoon, like when I started this channel, I was probably in one of the worst places of my life. I know this channel says it's 11 years old, but I actually started posting in November, I think. Wow, so like 9 months ago. Oh my gosh, this is my YouTube baby. I'm giving birth right now. Like 9 months into this channel, like I finally feel a little stabilized, but literally like so hard. Like I don't the things I went through were a bit ridiculous, and I'm trying not to like have any like negative vibes or talk about that right now because I am coming out of that hardship, but like not like even being able to afford like a cup of coffee, like it's so ridiculous whenever like at times in my life you felt like you had the world and then you felt like you had nothing, but like I've learned so much in the past 9 months that I would never want to go through it, but I would understand if I had to go through it again because of how much I learned. And it's really baffling and it has been painful and it's still a little bit painful at times. I'm not saying like I'm a millionaire or like everything's perfect right now. No, but it has gotten easier because I know it's gonna sound like crazy or weird, but I think these divine vibe checks really, really have been helping me because it just puts me like, it just gives me that check every month, every few weeks. Like, anyways, I try not to make it about me, but I get so emotional, you guys. If you are in group one and you chose and you resonate with this hardship thing, just know that help me, God, to trust where you are guiding me. I am yours. You just have to truly trust and keep following your passions and just keep literally doing what you need to do while believing in your end game. Anyways, let's move on to tool number two. Group number one. I'm really excited about this because the last vibe check we did, it wasn't a pick an object. It was just one vibe check because I just knew it was gonna be like a long session, and I did 2 pages. But when I turned the page, they're like, no, never do 2 pages for a group again. Anyways, this is a secret daily teachings. It's based off of the secret book or movie. You probably heard about it, but it's just daily teachings where 1 page is a super powerful quote. And it's usually a quote on, both pages, but I don't know why there's only one quote here. Let's go ahead and read it together. And usually it does correlate with the card. Like these are really random, not planned at all, but usually somehow the divine helps us connect the card and the quote. So here we are. Oh, why am I reading it without showing y'all? Y'all, I'm talking so much, group number one. I'm so sorry. I've been like, let's just get to the point. Focus, focus. Again. Feel free to pause. Okay, let's read it together. Let's read it together. Okay. Whenever you remember at any time of the day, say, I am joy. Say it hundreds of times a day if you like. Say it often, but say it very slowly, giving equal emphasis to each word. I am joy. Feel the meaning of the words as you slowly say them and experience as much of a feeling of joy within you as you can. Build on that feeling every single day. You will get better and better at it. Feel that joy inside you more than you react to outside circumstances, and you will change the outside circumstances. Joy attracts joy. I freaking love this combo. And I love the contrast and the polarity that it's hardship and joy. And that's what I was just said before reading the page, that live in your end game. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. You're going through a hardship. We might be going through a collective hardship, group number one. But living in the end, why am I making these videos? And why is such a small group of people watching this now, which I really don't mind because this is such a niche mindset. But I know I'm reaching millions through the few that I'm reaching now, because everything multiplies, and that's my vision about this channel. And that has been my vision the past few months, that I will be getting new clients for my marketing business. I will make videos. All my free time will go to my passions and hobbies. And soon enough, my passions and hobbies will be the thing that help me survive this life. And have I been saying specifically I am joy? No, because I'm going through this book with y'all. I've never read this book. I think when I first started doing these divine vibe checks with y'all, I started where I stopped personally. I think it was like page 30 or something. I don't know. Or maybe page 40, whatever. I started at the point where I haven't read it. So have I been saying this? No. Will I start? Yes, I'm going to start and try to remember. Of course, there's so many tools for the law of attraction, the law of assumption, the law of vibration. There's so many methods. You should choose your best. You should choose your favorite methods. But similarly to saying I am joy hundreds of times a day, instead, like again, if you watch my other videos, I say I make $1,000 a day as many times as I can. I say I am beautiful and the world thinks I'm beautiful as many times as I can remember. I say a lot of other personal little affirmations, not a lot of other, maybe like one or two other personal affirmations throughout the day, because I am seeing the fruits of it as I continue to practice this. So yes, hardship, it is just helping us build that skill of trusting in the divine, is why we go through hardships. So group number one, let's move on to tool number 3 over here, which is, as you may know, which I'm sure you know, we are in the age of AI, and there are a lot of different AI tools out there. There are some crazy tools that do way too much, and there are some really cool tools which could help us expand our knowledge. And one of my favorite AIs that I like using is called Akil, and it is developed by colleges like MIT and Carnegie Mellon, and you can use it for free whenever you like. And the information that the outputs output are within strict borders of like scholar. Don't edit these, y'all. Within strict borders of scholarly knowledge. And I am an aspiring mystic. Who knows if I'm already a mystic? I don't know if there's somebody who can like verify at what point do you become a mystic. I don't know. Whatever. I love learning about the mindset of mystics, and this tool really helps me with that. And yeah, the colleges that help keep the knowledge borders are like the first college ever, the first university ever in the world, which is in Egypt, called Al Azhar University, and another very, very popular university in Malaysia called IKIM, and a bunch of other institutions. Feel free to check out the Akil website. I wish I was sponsored by them, but I'm not. Not during this video, at least. Maybe one day. Anyways, I ask the very same question to this AI every time, but I replace it with... Oh, I don't want to lose my place in the book. I replace it with the title of the card that we chose here. So we got hardship. But anyways, okay, let's just do this. And here is a question. Tell me, this is what I get for not editing my videos. Come on. Tell me about hardship from the perspective of a mystic. But don't use too many Arabic words, or try not to use any Arabic words because I'm not good at it. I had to add that little Arabic part because it would have a lot of outputs in Arabic. Like I said, the very first university that is in Egypt is one of the, trailblazers for this AI. Anyways, here we go. Disclaimer about AI, which it is disclaiming here. Before we begin, I want to emphasize that AI will never replace scholars, especially in matters of deep spiritual insight. But I can help you explore foundational ideas and guide your inquiry into the inward dimension as seen by mystics, often called Sufis. Yeah, I didn't really say that here, though I will avoid that terminology since you asked for minimal Arabic. So a Sufi is, you know who Rumi is. He is a very famous poet who's used in pop culture, whose quotes are often romanticized, but he's actually romanticizing God, and he is a mystic from my religion, and he has a lot of mystics that came before him and after him. And so this app helps explore that kind of mindset. So here we go. Let's approach the idea of hardship from 3 perspectives rooted in spiritual psychology. So number 1, hardship as a mirror of the soul's distance. Hardship as a mirror of the soul's distance. I don't know what that means, but here we go. Mystics understand hardship not as mere misfortune, but as a spiritual diagnostic. When you're in pain emotionally, financially, physically, it's not necessarily because you've done something wrong. Instead, it may be that your heart is being realigned with its true purpose, to remember and be near to the divine. For example, someone loses their wealth, and the mystic would not ask, why me? But what am I being shown about what I asked? What Would not ask why me, but what am I being shown about what I was attached to? Hardship is thus a mirror. It reveals your false dependencies. When your ego is comfortable, it forgets the source, source with a capital S. But when you're broken open, you may finally hear something beyond yourself. When you're broken open, you might hear something beyond yourself. It sounds so scary, but like sometimes have to like you have to go through it to literally like evolve. Anyways, number 2. Excuse me. Okay, number 2. Hardship as divine sculpting. From a mystical standpoint, the self must be shattered and reshaped, not because you are worthless, but because the worldly self, concerned with image control reputation, is like a crust covering the real inner self. Pain is the chisel. That line is like by itself. Pain is the chisel. Think of it like a sculptor carving a block of stone. The pain you feel is not cruelty, it is the careful carving of something beautiful within you. Mystics believe every hardship is crafted with precision, not to destroy, but to uncover what is already beautiful inside you. They trust the process, not because it feels good, but because they see beyond the surface of events. So yeah, that was number 2, hardship as divine sculpting. I I haven't like I'm learning with you guys, and I haven't really seen these perspectives, so I don't know why I'm like smiling, cuz like smiling through the pain, I guess. The pain that I've been through, the pain that I'm overcoming, and just these metaphors, I guess. So number 3, hardship as a veil turned window. Hardship as a veil turned window. To the untrained soul, hardship feels like a wall. Why is this happening? Why can't I see the way forward? To the mystic, the wall becomes a window. The pain forces you to stop looking outward and instead look inward. It strips your distractions. And through that clarity, something astonishing emerges. An intimacy with the real capital R, an intimacy with the real that you would never have found through ease. That is so true. That is so true. They do not seek hardship, but when it comes, they treat it as a visitor bearing a message, sometimes severe, but always meaningful. So we have a real world illustration after those 3 points. It says a real world illustration. Consider a person who loses everything in a business collapse. A secular view says economic failure, bad strategy. A mystical view asks what attachments was he being asked to let go of? Maybe his entire identity was built around control, performance, status. The hardship became the invitation to surrender, to rebuild an inner life that wasn't just about worldly validation. Oh, when I was reading that little real world illustration, I had so many examples pop into my mind about the business world and like what I've been through. And I have my master's in science and marketing, y'all. I've had so many, not so many, probably like 4 different major roles in my life. Anyways, I don't want to get into it, but I'm sure you can. I'm sure some things pop into your mind as well when it comes to that real world illustration. In summary, the mystic does not see hardship as a punishment. They see it as a realignment of the heart with its source, a tool for purification, a breaking of illusions, a test of sincerity, a door to deeper knowing. They believe that no hardship is meaningless because everything is under the control of the one who knows you better than you know yourself. And the one who is capitalized, one who knows you better than yourself. So yeah, group number one, we dove into hardship. Those were the three tools for you. Feel free to continue watching if you like, or I'll see you next time. Either way, I'm very grateful for this journey of hardship and the reminder to always repeat, I am joy, I am joy, I am joy throughout the day. Will probably actually change your life if you do that, along with all the other things you want to manifest into your life. Anyways, lots of love to you, group number one, and I will see you next time. All right, group number two. Hello. You chose a butterfly. Oh my gosh. I felt like I talked a lot for group number one. Just drinking my free water. So yes, group number two. Usually, as always, we have three tools that we use. I say usually because sometimes we do have a fourth tool, but this time we are just using three tools. And the first tool, which is the randomness of all of this, the card pick from one of my favorite card decks in the world. It has some of the most highest vibe messages on it, and you can actually buy this card pack for yourself. It's the last link in the description. So now I will close my eyes and pick a card with you guys. I painted little animals on the back, which have nothing to do with the card, but I just like seeing them. Should I pick a card? Should I pick this card? I'm gonna pick this card, you guys. Oh, we have a little toucan. I feel like I look like I have toucan vibes today. I think I've been around like one toucan in my life. Anyways, it has nothing to do with the card. Ooh, I kind of glimpsed at the title, but as always, I let you read it first, so feel free to pause the video. I hope you were able to see it. But I will read it. I will read it with you guys. Here we go. Tool number one. Self-sufficiency. The ultimate self-sufficiency is relying on God. It doesn't mean hiding in a cave and saying, I don't need people. Instead, it's saying, God is my source, and I'm willing to receive all help, love, and support that wants to come. I'm sorry, y'all. When I read these, I go through so many thoughts, because I do these vibe checks for myself and for the collective good and for whoever needs this message, but I'm also basically reading these for the first time, and even if I'm not reading it for the first time, I'm probably reading it years, months and months later than I read the first time. But to accept help, to accept advice, you really, really cannot have an ego. And we've talked about ego in other videos, but there's no point of having an ego, because every single person, every single source that wants to help you is literally versions of divine intervention. And that does take a minute to understand. When I say a minute, for some people it takes years, or maybe never, to just, it's okay to receive help. And I I've had to face that. I've had to face that. And sometimes people will actually shame you for receiving help, but those were never your people anyways. So I always see it as, if I have the means to help somebody, I would. So why not be on the receiving end when you need it sometimes as well? But yes, group number 2, the butterfly, is self-sufficiency. And I love that it's like a butterfly and a toucan. We're like in the flying kind of free vibe. And the card says, the ultimate self-sufficiency is relying on God. It doesn't mean hiding in a cave. No, it means being a beautiful butterfly or a beautiful, colorful bird and just embracing the world for everything it's giving you. So yes, the ultimate self-sufficiency is truly understanding you're one with the universe and you're one with all entities. But anyways, let's move on to tool number 2, which is the Secret Daily Teachings based off of the Secret book and movie. And these I truly am reading for the first time with y'all. Group number 1's page was a really cool quote. You can watch this whole video if you want. At some point, you can always come back to it and choose a different object. But yes, so let's move on to the next page. Each page is one powerful quote. So of course, I will let you read it. And usually it has to do with their card. I always hope and pray it does, but it is ultimately random. But yes, feel free to pause. And let's get to reading our secret daily teaching. Does that rhyme? Let's get to reading our secret. Anyways, here we go. Write down all the great things about everyone you know. Weren't we just talking about other people right now? Anyways, write down all the great things about everyone you know. Make a huge list of all the wonderful things about you. Make a huge list of all the wonderful things about you. Compliment people wherever you go. Praise every single thing you see. Be a ray of sunshine to everyone you meet and make their day better for having seen you. Say thank you at every turn. Walk, talk, think, and breathe appreciation and gratitude. When you do this, your outer life will change to reflect your inner state of being. When you do this, your outer life will change your inner state of being. And when you are doing this thing in your outer life, how much more self-sufficient can you be? That's your combo for tool number 1 and number 2, you guys. I love this advice. Every sentence was advice. So write down all the great things about everyone you know. Why not? Everyone you know is literally, like I mentioned, a divine portal. Make a huge list of all the wonderful things about you. Compliment people wherever you go. Praise every single thing you see. Be a ray of sunshine to everyone you meet and make their day better for having seen you. Say thank you at every turn. Walk, talk, think, breathe appreciation, gratitude. Your outer life will change and reflect your inner state of being. I'm sorry for reading it again. It is just so like just imagine living like this. It may not naturally come at first, and it definitely doesn't, not for me, but like, I'm lying. It does come naturally for me. I remember as a little kid, like always being grateful, always being positive, always being hopeful, always knowing I was default happy. But things happen, life happens. Sometimes even as a kid, for some people, that's not how it was, but we all need to get back to this state of living. And I hope you take this advice from the Secret Daily Teaching, because this is literally the secret of getting everything you want in life. And I think that was a pretty good combo. I think that was a pretty good combo. So let's move on to tool number 3, group number 2, the butterfly group. And tool number 3 is an AI, but it's not your typical AI. It is an AI that is managed by scholars and by the developers of this AI are MIT and Carnegie Mellon and a lot of other prestigious institutions. Feel free to check out the website for this AI. They are called Akul. And I am an aspiring mystic. Maybe I'm already a mystic, who knows? I don't know. But I like to ask the same question to this AI every time I pick a card here with you guys, but I just replace the keyword in the question with the card we pick. So today we are on self-sufficiency from the perspective of a mystic. And yeah, the scholars that like help the walls of this AI are from the first university ever on this earth called Azhar University, and also from like cool universities like a university in Malaysia called IKM. And again, a lot of other institutions. Go check out their website. I wish I was sponsored, but I'm not. Maybe one day, but yes. Here we are with the same exact question every single time. Tell me about self-sufficiency from the perspective of a mystic, but please don't use too many Arabic words because I don't really know Arabic that well. I mean, I do know Arabic pretty well, but sometimes they use new words that I don't know. So let's just keep it simple. For this, here we go. Self-sufficiency or independence from the world is central in mysticism. But its meaning is radically different from the way modern materialist culture defines it. In contemporary usage, self-sufficiency usually refers to being materially or emotionally independent, having your own resources, not relying on others. But for the mystic, this would be seen as a delusion, not a virtue. Let me break it down through 3 different reasoning paths. Number 1, philosophical reasoning, ontological dependency. From the lens of metaphysics, the only true self-sufficient is God, the one who is not in need of anything. The mystic contemplates this. If all creation is dependent on God at every moment, then to claim I am self-sufficient is false claim of autonomy, akin to associating something with God. The truly awakened soul knows that their very being, thoughts, breath, and sustenance are not self-generated. The mystic trains themselves to move from illusion of self-dependence to the realization of divine dependence. Example, a mystic sees the food they eat not as a result of their labor alone, but as a manifestation of God's will delivered through creation. So that was number 1, philosophical reasoning, ontological dependency. So number 2, spiritual psychology, liberation from desire. In the internal life of the mystic, self-sufficiency means something very profound, being free from needing creation. For example, people praise validation power while being in total need of the creator. It's not about doing everything alone, but about detaching from the illusions of ownership and control. This manifests as renunciation of excess. That's the first bullet point. 2nd, total reliance on God. 3rd, contentment with what one has. It is not passivity. The mystic still engages the world, but does not cling to it. They move through it lightly, without becoming spiritually entangled. Example, a mystic may live simply, not because they can't afford more, but because they have trained the soul not to be enslaved by possessions. And I've really been wanting to claim I'm a minimalist, but sometimes I just like little trinkets here and there, like you might see like the things on top of my fridge, or like the little Lego set, or like the wreath, but like not too much, just like I like a pretty atmosphere maybe. Uh with little pops of girliness, like this little wreath thing has like butterflies on it. Anyways, I truly believe in not living in excess, but I do also believe in living in beauty, so I hope there is a healthy balance. Anyways, let's move on to point number 3, ethical and social dimension, true wealth. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Wealth is not in having many possessions, but true wealth is richness of the soul." This saying is core to the mystic worldview. Self-sufficiency means inner completeness, where your emotional and psychological state is no longer at the mercy of external ups and downs. This leads to generosity without expecting return, service to others without seeking recognition, forgiveness without keeping score. Example, a mystic can give in charity even when they have little, because they are not afraid of losing. They know their real provision is with God. Wow. In summary, in mysticism, self-sufficiency is not about isolation, pride, or survivalism. It is a paradox. The more you realize your utter need for God, the more spiritually independent you become from everything else. Or in other words, the one who knows he owns nothing possesses everything. Well, I think that was beautiful. And yeah, I do really love the paradox of self-sufficiency, that being truly self-sufficient is embracing the power of the universe and the power of source energy, with all it has to give you. So literally being self-sufficient does not mean you're alone, does not mean you are detached from, you literally have, the world is your, I don't want to say oyster because I don't really like oysters, but the world is yours. The world is yours. And it may take us a minute to believe that, but I hope we all believe that soon. And thank you for this session, group 2. I had an amazing time with you. Feel free to come back at a later time or watch another object, watch another groups. Yeah, this was really great. And I will see you in my next video. Bye. Oh. Yeah, I never do any cuts in this video, so I'm just going to like get myself together for see get myself together for group 3. Honestly, I'm like taking in so much like information as well, because a lot of this stuff is new reminders to me. So for group 3, I just want to like start on a fresh like palette, you know. Whew. Welcome group 3. You chose the swimsuit. Okay, have you been going to the pool? I have been going to the pool. I didn't really go to the pool for Independence Day. Um, but I have been working out in the pool. I've been doing some laps. So maybe you've been feeling the pool vibes as well. Anyway, whatever season you are watching this in right now, it is summertime in Texas for me. So love a good swim after the sun sets. So yes, we are going to use 3 tools today, okay? And the first tool is my favorite card deck ever. I painted little animals that have nothing to do with it on the back because I'm just like creative like that. I just wanted to personalize them a little. But you can find this card deck at the very last link in the description box. I'm so sorry. You can buy them for yourself. Um, but yes, let me close my eyes and choose a card here because this card literally dictates the rest of the session. And I'm not shuffling it like a pro, I know. Yes, I know how to shuffle cards, but I want to show y'all that it's random. I want to close my eyes and show y'all. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm kind of opening it for a second, but I'm going to close it again. Here we go. Group 3. Group 3. Oh my god, it's between these. Okay. I'm nervous. Why am I nervous, group 3? I wasn't nervous for the other groups. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with this one. We have a little, is it upside down for y'all? But we do have a little jellyfish. Oh, how fitting for the swim vibes. Have y'all ever seen jellyfish in real life? They're kind of weird. They're kind of like freaky. Anyways, I like animated jellyfish. They're cute. Anyways, jellyfish. Oh, why am I reading it before showing it to y'all? I did read the title though. Group 3. We are like, this title is, feel free to pause and read it for yourself, but this title is the opposite of Group 1's title. Complete opposite. But what a pretty card. But like Group 1, it kind of matches. Kind of matches my clothes today. Y'all, I don't know about these ruffles here. But yes, we are at enjoyment group number 3. I've had really intense sessions with the past 2 groups. But let's get into this. Let's get into this positive vibe. I knew I needed to get my head straight for y'all. Group number 3. Here we go. Enjoyment. Striving and pushing makes life into endless hard work. The more you're inviting love to take over, the more enjoyment comes. Allow me to enjoy this life, dear Lord. Striving and pushing makes life into endless hard work. I've used this metaphor before, but I always have to remind myself to go with the flow, to literally have fun in this game of life. Everything is a game. Earning money is basically a game. Being happy is basically a game. Manifesting what you want is basically a game. And the rules of the game is being grateful and literally going with the flow and having fun and living in the end of what you want and who you are, living within your highest self. Like, the rules of the game are so positive, and when you're doing it right, it truly is fun. And I don't want to get negative, but like, it just is the polarity of this life we're in. But I know so many people, and I'm sure you know people who for some reason feel a guilt. They have like this deep guilt when they're like feeling enjoyment, that they think they should be working, or they think they could be learning or reading or praying or working out. Like, they don't they don't sit and watch a movie sometimes. Like, I know that's like extreme, but Life is meant to be enjoyable while staying connected to the divine and your highest self. And group three, let's enjoy. Let's jump in the pool. Let's go for a swim. Let's. Okay. Yeah. So that was our card, and I'm so happy because feel free to watch group one and group two if you want, but those were a little heavy. So I'm ready to live in enjoyment for sure. Okay. So we're gonna move on to tool number two, which is one of my favorite books as I'm reading it along with you guys. This is a Secret Daily Teachings based off of the Secret movie, off of the Secret book, whichever one you want to watch or read, go for it. But each page has a powerful quote, which I truly read for the first time with you all, and you guys get to see it and read it first. So feel free to pause if you would like to. And I feel like I just moved my camera. I hope you were able to read it. If not, of course we will read it together. And I'm so sorry if I moved my camera around just a little. But here we. Did I zoom into the right one for y'all? I'm gonna zoom in just one more time because I just hope I zoomed into the right one because the other page was group two. I hope I zoomed into this one. And we're not just wasting time, but let's read this page. Okay, group three, here we go. The law of attraction is infallible. So, sorry, before we dive into this, I always remind that the card and the quote usually have something to do with each other, but again, this is basically random. So, hopefully, this has to do with enjoyment. Let's get into it. Okay, the law of attraction is infallible. Every single person is getting what they are asking for, even though most of the time each person is not aware that they are asking for what they don't want. There's such absolute beauty in the law, which is so responsive and giving in every single moment so that we can experience our lives. The law never changes. We must learn how to live in harmony with the law. That is the greatest task for every single human being. What was I talking about, you guys? What was I talking about? The rules of the game, the laws of the world, the simple laws, living in gratefulness, living in enjoyment, going with the flow, living in your end. When I say living in your end, it means living at your highest self, whatever that is. Having a family, having a business, having a music career, being a doctor, being a lawyer, the end game of that, the where you make the millions, whatever your end game is. If it's not making millions, if it's just living at peace at whatever situation you want to be in, whatever your end game is, living that way here. I'm reading and listening to audiobooks by Neville Goddard, and I can't even go into that, like why it's so important to be living in that and here, because everything reflects you are literally I hope I say this word right, the operant power. You are the source power. The law never changes. We must learn how to live in harmony with the law. That is the greatest task for every single human being, but it's a task because we are human beings still connected with our primitive selves of being scared, kind of living in a scarcity mindset, kind of living in a negative mindset because we are on survival mode, but we don't need to be on survival mode. We don't need, not in this day and age, we don't need to be on survival mode. We need to be in enjoyment. We need to be in enjoyment. We need to be in enjoyment. And the law of attraction is infallible. Like every single person, no matter what, is living the law of attraction. Like I've heard multiple people say it in the past week, and I'm just saying these people's name because I heard them say it in this past week. Kris Jenner, the mother of all the Kardashians, all the Jenners, she says she was manifesting without even knowing it. And she admits that now. Another very, very famous YouTube channel run by Rhett and Link, they do Good Mythical Morning. They also said this in a recent interview with Smosh, Ian, and Anthony, Flashback, whatever. They also say they were manifesting and they didn't even know they were manifesting, but they were. And you can see that in their early videos, and they say that now. At one point or another, you will know you're manifesting the bad or the good or whatever is in your life. You literally are manifesting it. And it's a hard hit sometimes because some things in your life don't seem that great. And it's a hard ego hit to admit that it's basically your fault. It's basically your fault, but it's okay. We can train our minds and train our lives out of it. And please watch the other ones, other objects in this random vibe check, because we do talk about hardship and not everything. Even though it may be your fault, it's not really your fault. It's your subconscious, and there's so much science that it's like I'm trying to like say it to you in the most simple way. But even if there's hardship, there's a reason for it. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that before I like get too lost in the sauce about everything. Yes, so please enjoy this beautiful life. And let's move on to tool number 3 for group number 3. My little swimsuit group. And we are in the age of AI. Why do I always start talking like a robot when I get to this part? We are in the age of AI. And there are a lot of crazy AIs out there, but there are a lot of really helpful AIs. And this AI that I'm going to use with you guys is an AI developed by Carnegie Mellon and MIT University. And those are just some of the developers. Please check out the website for this AI. And the scholars that kind of put the borders around this AI are from the first university to ever exist, which is in Egypt, called Al-Azhar University, and other universities like IKIM in Malaysia, and then a lot of other institutions that are prestigious and wonderful. And I am an aspiring mystic, and you may have heard of Rumi. He is a mystic from my religion, and excuse me, I'm sorry, never edit these divine random vibe checks. Rumi has a lot of mystics before and after him, and sometimes we get to hear quotes from them when we ask the very same question. I ask the same question to this AI every time I'm doing a divine random vibe check with y'all. The only difference is I don't want to lose our card, you guys. The only difference is I replace the keyword in the question with the title of the card that we picked together. So let's get to the point here for tool number 3. Let me ask the question. Tell me about enjoyment from the perspective of a mystic. And please don't use too many Arabic words because I'm not that good at Arabic. I had to add that last part, or else Al-Azhar University is going to feed us a bunch of Arabic terms. But here we go. To explore enjoyment from the perspective of a mystic, i.e. a Sufi. So in my religion, we call it a Sufi, but trust me, all these concepts can be spread across any religion. We must begin with a deep clarification. The term enjoyment, pleasure, happiness, bliss, in a mystical sense, is never merely a physical or psychological state. It is always metaphysically anchored in one's relationship with God. Let's examine this from three different reasoning paths. Reasoning path number one, ontological perspective. What is enjoyment really? In metaphysics, all created things are dependent and contingent. The uh, true bliss cannot exist in that which is fleeting. Thus, for the mystic, any enjoyment that is not connected to the divine is an illusion. It may, this AI always wants to remind me that I'm not that smart. I'm smart, but I always have to learn new words. It may, uh, t- t- oh my gosh, you guys, I'm embarrassing myself. Um, it may titillate the senses, but it leaves the soul empty. Titillate the senses, but it leaves the soul empty. Real enjoyment is not found in the thing, but in the meaning behind the thing, which points to the creator. Creator with a capital C. Take, for example, a sunset. The common person enjoys its beauty. The mystic sees the divine, the beautiful, capital B, manifesting in it. The heart then experiences a subtle form of worship through awe and love, which is real enjoyment. I truly think that way when I look at the sky, when I look at the stars, when I look at the sunset, when I look at the clouds. Honestly, the sky is so mesmerizing, and I'm always thanking the divine for that moment, for me experiencing the beautiful sky. So, reasoning path number two, psychological dash spiritual. What happens in the heart? Mystics differentiate between two types of soul-based enjoyment. Number one, literally lower enjoyment, pleasures of the body or ego, like food, status, sex, fame. And two, higher enjoyment, states of the heart, closeness to God, love, stillness, longing, and presence. The most refined, the more refined the soul becomes through inner struggle, the more it detaches from the former and gravitates toward the latter. In the end, enjoyment is not what is consumed, but what one becomes conscious of. A mystic may fast and feel ecstasy, not from the hunger, but from the sensing that God sees his struggle. Reasoning path number three, teleological. What is the purpose of enjoyment? In the mystical path, enjoyment exists for tasting God's mercy. It is a means, not an end. It is used to draw near, not drown in. The spiritual seeker trains the soul to enjoy what draws it to God and to feel disgust at what pulls it away. Even laughter, food, and material intimacy can become spiritual enjoyment when done with God in mind. This is why some mystics laugh more than ascetics. They have reached a station where everything is joy because everything is seen as coming from the beloved, capital B. Summary, the mystic's view of enjoyment. So we have type, description, value. So type, physical enjoyment, which is sensory pleasures. The value is temporary, dangerous if detached from the divine. Uh, this type is egoic enjoyment, which is praise, power, success, and the value of it is an illusion and it must be purified. The next type is spiritual enjoyment, and the description of this is prayer, beauty, love, and the value is real, it leads to divine nearness. And the last type is divine enjoyment, which is vision of the divine. Um, Vision of the divine, and the value of it is ultimate joy, which is unmatched. And in the end, the mystic seeks to feel joy, not because life is good, but because the divine is present. The presence is the only lasting source of bliss. So, group number 3, I truly enjoyed this session with you. I hope you learned a little. And yeah, feel free to come back or choose a different object, or I will see you in my next video. Either way, I love you, and until next time, bye. All right. We are moving on. We are moving on. And I'm about to kind of break this group's heart, but it's okay. Hello, group number 4. You chose the orange. The orange, what a delicious fruit. And the fruit I have for you guys today is that there is not a divine random vibe pick for you here. I do use 3 tools. I use this divine card deck. I use this Secret Daily Teachings, and I use another tool for tool number 3. But if you're group number 4, the message for you here is to check out my divine random vibe check playlist. You can check it out by going to my channel, but it is the first few videos on that playlist that is for you. If you're here group number 4, I am sending you away to the playlist to watch the first few vibe checks I've ever done on this channel, because those messages are the ones for you here. You can watch either the first one, the second one, or the third one, or all 3. But that is where my inner being wants to take group 4 to. And trust me, the messages on those videos are just as powerful as what the first few groups here chose. And if you are not totally satisfied by this fruit, by this orange group number 4, feel free to choose another group within this video. We've had amazing sessions, group number 1, 2, and 3. We've had very in-depth sessions. But either way, I know you are going to get something out of whichever path you choose. I'm grateful that you clicked on this video. I promise you, I'm so, so grateful. So grateful you chose an object. And yes, I learned a lot. And yeah, I will definitely see you in my next video. I will see you on my channel. I will see my members. I'm so excited to connect with you guys. Don't forget to check out the Cumulus box jump. It is my latest client. Just check out the website, check out social media. There's Affirm payment plans if you want to actually buy it. Or you can buy it if you have the means. Just go ahead and buy one. You can keep it forever. It's one of the coolest things ever. Anyways, I will see you guys later. This has been a long, beautiful, great session. I will see you guys later. Bye.